Hey there, so I wanted to do a short video today because some of my students usually have questions about the special pencils that their parents got them for class, and they wanted to know what all these numbers meant. These are specifically drawing pencils, and I wanted to just go over what they are. I don't have every single one of them because frankly I don't believe that you need every single one of them, especially if you're just starting out, and if you're in middle school or you're in high school or you just started some introductory courses in your freshman year of college, for example, you're going to find that you don't really need all pencils in the system. But I wanted to show you, it's kind of like a number line, and what we do is in the center there is a pencil called the HB pencil, what we normally call the number 2 pencil. That's what all of you use in class most of the time. All of us have number 2 pencils. It's the most common. So after that, towards the right, we have what we call the B pencils, which B stands for black. So it's as black as the mark can get. So you know how far the number 2 pencil can go. But as you go, you're going to notice that the marks, as the numbers go up, get darker and darker and darker. So these will go up all the way. I've seen 9B. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And these are all B's. Now, why do you think we might need all of these? Because certain values that we really want to show in a drawing sometimes need something a lot darker than what the number 2 pencil provides. The same thing goes if you go into the opposite direction, then you have a difference in hardness of the actual graphite point. So if we go to the left, you're going to have one that says F, which we would consider a number 3, and then it goes to hardness, which is number 4. And then from that point on, the numbers go up as you go to the left. So these pencils are very interesting because you either love them or you hate them. And like I said, these can go pretty far into that direction as well. Hardness just means the mark that's made could be super light, but the point is very hard. If you go to, let's say, a 7H, this is a 7H. 7H is going to be pretty soft when you use it. If I go to the opposite direction, I get a 7H. That was a 7B, I'm sorry, 7B. If I go to a 7H in the opposite direction, you can even hear it. It makes really light marks, and no matter how hard you press, you'll never get the dark value that you get from a 7B. Also, this plays a lot into what happens when my students start to use these pencils and they want to get a dark mark out of a 9H, which is super light, but the point's really, really hard. So when they press down hard and they're like, oh, I don't like it, I'm going to try to erase, it never erases fully. And that's where they get very frustrated because they've actually made indentations in the paper with that pencil because the H represents hardness. So if you get a 9H pencil because you like it because it's light, you can't press down on it hard or else you will not be able to erase. So a 9H pencil is super light. I usually don't like to use them because it really, to me, it doesn't make much sense. But if I use, let's say, like a 4H, you could see how that makes a difference. And I use it very lightly when I'm trying to sketch things out. If I'm trying to get ready for a painting, I might use a 4H or a 3H to just sketch my figures out first without putting a lot of pressure on my pencil. If this is a straight up graphite drawing, then you really want to have a few of these pencils at your disposal. So for me, a 2H is really good. I like it. So on the H side, I wouldn't go any farther than maybe a 4H. And maybe a B. A B is really nice because it's almost like a number 2. It's a little bit darker than a number 2. And then you go into the 2 Bs. So I would get maybe a 2B, a 4B, which I probably have here, yeah, 4B, and maybe a 6 or a 7B. And if you really want those dark marks, then you can go up to a 9B if you want. But really, a lot of stores, a lot of companies sell drawing sets that will come with maybe 4 or 6 of these pencils. There are sets that come with the complete array of hardness and black marks. So it really depends on what you're looking for. But I'm here to tell you, you don't need the whole gamut of numbers and letters in order to make a really good drawing. For me, when I do values, I'm good with 4 or 5 pencils and I make it work. So before I was telling you how using a 7H really hard on your paper will make it super difficult for you to erase, and that was with the kneaded eraser. And if I try to use the white vinyl eraser, I could probably get a little bit more off of it, but it's not as easy as the Bs. Look how easy the Bs can be erased. Now, once you get into the 9Bs and the 7Bs, this is what ends up happening. That's why I tend to like the kneaded eraser, because it is a little bit more clean when you're trying to create highlights in your drawings. And in later videos, I will show you how you can actually draw with an eraser to actually make those highlights pop out even more and create a lot of nice three-dimensional contrast in your drawings. So that's it for this one. I just wanted to give you a short rundown of what you needed if you wanted to be a successful artist. Again, sometimes I only use my number 2 pencil, but some people like to have a little bit more. They want to be a little bit more sophisticated. They want darker marks. So that's why I wanted to show you. So again, I would go with an HB, maybe a 2, a 4, an 8, or a 7. And then on this side with the hardness, I probably wouldn't go any harder than a 4H, only because you don't really need it at a 7 or an 8. So that's it. Stay tuned for the next video where we start to learn how to shade in a sphere. And that's a big fundamental basic skill that all my students learn in class, and it's one of those things that every art student, no matter where they are, they're going to learn how to draw and shade it in. So if you like this kind of video, go ahead and click like, click the subscribe button, click the bell, leave a comment underneath, and let me know if you like this kind of video. If you want to see me do something else, let me know. I'll see you in the next video.